Hello there, how are we? So today, guys, is episode 16. Yes, 5,
Sweet
10,
16.
15, 16. Episode 16. So yes, it won't be long before we're out of our teens and we're getting a little bit older.
Oh, we're growing up.
Yes, we're growing up, guys. So anyway, there you go, episode 16. Today we are going to talk to you about some leathers on the R&C Leather Lounge. And if you don't know by now, I am Richard.
I am Carolyn.
She's the other half of the R&C.
I'm the C, you see?
Yes, so she's the C, you see. So yes, and I'm the R.
Talking about leather, that's
So
ironic.
yes, we're going to talk about leather, which is very ironic on the Leather Lounge.
Yeah, back to basics on this one.
Yes, yeah, you can sort of say back to basics. So what we're going to
Little
talk
bit.
about today, so Carolyn's going to kick it all off, but we are going to talk to you today about leather, funnily enough, but we're going to talk to you about full grain, top
Layers.
grain, yeah, sort of like layers. But only the top sort of 2 layers though, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to say top 2 layers that way, not top 2 layers the other way. Stop it. So this is very, very important that you understand this, because there is a big difference between full grain and top grain, and it's amazing how many companies get this wrong completely and actually put them in a different order to what they should be. It's actually quite
But
alarming.
they sound like they're in the
Yes, I
wrong order.
know they sound like they're in the wrong order. I know.
Because what you've got, the very, 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 very top layer is called full grain.
It's full because it's full up with all the grain.
So basically, it's called full grain because you can see the full grain. You can see all of the grain pattern in that higher layer, let's say.
Yeah, in the higher layers.
Because ironically, excuse my gloves, it's cold in here. Ironically, the layer below that one is called top grain.
And I've not got gloves on.
So you've got full grain, which is the very, very, very top layer. We are going to show you some
Yeah,
in a
it's not going to be
second.
easy, but we will go through them with you.
We'll point out key differences that you'll spot in each one. So you've got full grain, which is the very top layer. You've got
Like my head.
top grain, which is the layer underneath that one, and then they go down. We'll do some more with the other layers.
Yeah,
but
we will.
We'll start with the top ones, the top one and the next top one.
Yeah, yeah. So it's very. So we've got like a mixture here. So we've got from crust. We've got aniline, we've got semi-aniline, and then we've got a pigmented one as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through those just to sort of show you. Once you know what you're looking for, it's like anything in life, guys. Once you know, it's bloody easy. That's the thing. And if you don't know, it is goddamn difficult. So yeah, very, very,
But there is
very
little
hard.
key ways to tell. We've
Yes.
got different finishes here as well. So although we've only got 2 layers essentially,
Yep, there is
they're
literally 2
finished
layers.
in different ways and they've had different varying things done to them as well.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't make our life any easier as leather technicians.
Or yours.
Well, I'm thinking of us and them and everything else. So yeah, it just isn't easy at all, and it just makes everything so damn difficult. And it's like, God, where do we bloody begin? It really is not easy, but it's just tanneries making it very, very difficult. And then
they keep changing too.
yeah,
so
they
it's-
do. They
it's
change. And
ever-changing.
some tanneries call it different things to other tanneries, and it's just like, oh my God, just have something that's uniformed across the board that is so easy to recognise, identify, and everything else. But the trouble is, they're trying to sort of compete with all these people with the faux and the plastics and everything else, and it's not easy. So they're trying to think of all these fancy names all the time to try to make it sound bigger and better.
Sound more modern as well, I think,
Yeah,
as well. 'cause
exactly.
A
Yeah.
lot of people assume that leather is kind of an old-fashioned kind of material
it is
because
very
it's
old,
been
obviously.
used for so long. People think it's not. I mean, it's not a modern way of doing things, but it's still a current way of doing things. But I think people just associate it with older things, don't they? Because there's so much antique furniture and things that's all leather. So I think they're trying to modernise. They're trying to make leather trendy again. So that's why I think they're bringing out all these fancy names for things and different finishes and stuff like that. But
And it doesn't
It's all
help
good.
because it's changing. So we're constantly having to adapt, change, and move forward with everything that we're doing. So anyway, guys, without further ado, we're going to spin the camera around and we are now going to show you some leathers right over here.
Just
in
one
a
thing
second.
before you spin.
Okay.
Over my shoulder, this is our ID board.
Yes, it is.
Once we've looked at the skins on the table,
Yes.
we'll take a quick look at the ID board. We'll bring that out and show you that as well, because they're very concentrated samples
Yes.
of what we'll be talking about on the bigger skins.
Okay, boss has spoken, I best do as I'm told.
Grab the camera, spin it round.
Okay, all right. Let's have a look. Right, so here we go then, guys. Now, this is going to be a little bit shaky because I'm having to hold this by hand. So, as you can see here, we have a selection of skins. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can count. And you can probably tell this one is like a two-tone, but this is actually called rub-off, and we'll explain it on another video anyway. So we've got a mixture here from, full grain, top grain, semi-aniline, and aniline, and crust and pigmented. So we've got pigmented here. This is a crust. This is a pigmented again. This is semi-aniline. This is aniline, and this is a semi-aniline also. So, and now this is an interesting one because this is a semi-aniline top grain, but this is a semi-aniline full grain. So yes, it's going to be great, isn't it? So we're going to try to point these things out. And I've got my little gadget here, my little dental tool, that I'm going to try to point things out. So first of all,
You painting?
yeah, I don't know. Probably you're going to have to sort of be made redundant for the time being when I do this.
Okay.
Terribly sorry. The boss is back. So anyway, top grain, full grain. How do we actually tell the difference? So let's first of all look at aniline leather. This is aniline leather. So this is full grain. Okay, because you can sort of see if you look at it. You've got just here off camera. Just there, look, this is scars, yeah? You've got scars at the end of it, just here, here, and here, and there. Look, so that's natural scars actually in the skin, but you can also see all of the grain, and I dropped my dental tool. Thank you, assistant. She's picked it back up for me.
Not redundant then.
No, not redundant. So you can see there, look, and all this is all sort of the grain pattern running through it. But as you can see, as you go over, you will find, look at all this scar line in here. Look, this is natural scar lines. All of this is natural sort of scars in the actual hide itself. There's a good classic example of a natural scar there. They've obviously lightly sanded that because it's obviously like a bite. But again, look at this one here, look. You can see the pattern is all over and it's all natural scars. There's one there, look, that runs all the way up there, look, just there. So you can see all of those. And when you go further over the skin, let's come this way because it's a bit dark going that way. You can see there coming towards the edge. Let's spin it around and have a look. You can see there, look at that. The natural lines going this way as well. So it's got the scars as well as the grain going through here, all running through here. You've got these coming this way back here. So you can sort of see them. She's gone and sat down, the little monkey. So anyway.
I'm observing.
She's observing. So when you start looking at your semi-aniline, just look at the difference there of how consistent this is. But you can tell it's top grain because if you look at it here, look, you can see these faults here, look, so you can tell that it's still top grain because it's still got the faults in. But what it means is with being top grain, and if you look there, look, you can see the grain running through there, look at that. Yeah, all the way around, there's another one there, they're all here, these marks. So you know this is top grain, but if you look at it, these bubbles, if you want to call them bubbles, these little grain bits, look, identical, look, all over the whole pattern. The whole pattern of these is identical. So you know it's been heat pressed in. But it's top grain because it's still got these lines in here, look, as you can see, look, running through. So you still know it's top grain. Now, semi-aniline again, look at the difference here. Look, you can tell how inconsistent the grain pattern is on here. So you know automatically that you are dealing with a full grain because the pattern is just completely erratic and absolutely all over the place. Let's pull it into a bit of daylight. As you can see, look at that. The pattern is literally everywhere. And coming right to these edges here, it's totally different again. You know, you can see it's different completely. Trying to get it to focus, guys. You have to excuse us. It's not easy trying to hold this and walk around the room. And you look, there you go. Look at that. You can see what that's like completely, how different that is. Now, let's have a look at the next one, which is, this is where it gets a little bit more confusing. So we're going to now look at full grain pressed. Yep, full grain pressed. Let me actually rephrase that. Top grain pressed, sorry. So we're going to look at top grain pressed. So as you can see, this is actually quite smooth. When you look at the skin, it's actually pretty smooth. But you can see lines in it, look. So you can tell now, this has been sanded more. And you can see the lines in here, or the grain pattern in it. So this is what they call top grain pressed. So what that means is this has been pressed and compacted for the shoe industry. So that makes it tighter, it makes the grain closed up. It's also not really sanded, but it's been pressed and rolled extensively to remove as much of the grain as possible, to squash it so that it makes it solid and more durable for shoes. So if you look at the back of this one, you can probably tell what I mean. As you can tell, it's not really that fluffy in comparison to something like this red grain that you can see is going to be very, very different. You can tell what this red grain's like. It's very, very fluffy in comparison. So they are very, very different. But that is a pressed, and that particular one, this black one, is actually a calf skin. But you can see the grain in it, but there's no actual grain pattern like you got on that red one. If we move over from left to right, you can see what I mean, how it's smooth between these. Actually, if you look between these lines, it's actually pretty smooth. And then when you move here, you can see again. Now we get into, this is veg tanned calf skin, and you can see here again how erratic the grain pattern is all over the place, and you can see how natural this looks. You've got all these sort of scar lines here and back down here, so you can see them all within this skin, that it's got all these different marks in, look, all over the place, because this is completely natural. Then we get back into top grain leather again. So top grain leather means it's one below the full grain, which means you've got the full grain, which is like our outer skin. If you can sort of put your hand out and look at your skin right now, that is your full grain. Take that top layer off, then you're left with, I know this sounds daft, then you're left with the top grain, even though I've just said, take that top layer off. So it makes, you see how confusing it is, guys, trying to understand what full grain is and what top grain is. It's not easy. So this one is your top grain, and again you can see the consistency of the patterning, but these lines that you see here that's running through, all of these are the actual grain. So you know that this hasn't been sanded or corrected too much, because you can still see all of these. Now if this was a skin that had had heavy correction done to it, you would not see any of these lines at all. None of these sort of natural crease lines, which you get, you know, like we've got them here. Look, you can see my hand, you know, or my palm. You've got natural crease lines there. Look, all those, what you can see on the palm of my hand, those lines, I don't have three hands to point this out to you. So I can't actually show you what I'm on about. So like this line there, and this line here, yeah, and this outer line here, yeah. If she'd have only used the proper tool instead of a green finger, it would have been all right. So there you go. So you can sort of see all of these lines here. Look, you know, all of these are still in. So you know this is top grain, but it's got a grain impression put back into it. And you can see there the difference. Look at the fluffiness of this compared to what we just saw just a second ago, which was this one here. You can see what this one's like. It's very, very, very smooth. I am hoping this is going to be of help. So that is your thing. Now we're going to just show you the board, and we're going to show you that before we sign off. And this is a little bit more concentrated for you to look at. So what have we got here? So this is aniline, yeah, and you can see that straight away. This one here is aniline, and this is full grain, okay? So this is semi-aniline, and look at the difference. You can tell that it's actually got an impression in it, but again, you can see all the crease lines running through, but you can tell that this has had a grain impression put in it. So this one here, there is your full grain, genuine pigmented, yeah, and you can see that as clear as day, how that's full grain with all these. This has really got a lot of faults in here. So this is a really good example of full grain, because this is like full on full grain with every sort of major fault you can think of running through here and everything. And then we've obviously got the top grain with the embossing on it, and there's your two-tone, which is again a very similar pattern to the rub-off one that we showed you earlier at the beginning, which is this one here, which is the rub-off one, this one. So again, you can see there the consistency of it, but again, when you look at it, you can see this mark running through here. Look, if I can zoom in enough, you can see the mark running through there, so you can see all the grain there. So it's very, very interesting as to how they look. So let's get this camera swapped back around again, and you're going to see our two lovely faces in full grain. So there you go. That wasn't easy. That wasn't easy trying to explain that, because you almost get confused with top grain and full grain, and then you've got top grain that's been smoothed out, and it's like, oh my God.
They should just call them, they should just say layer 1.
Yep, layer 2.
Layer 2.
Yeah, and then layer 3,
so
layer 4, and layer
much
5.
easier.
It would be so much easier because they grade. Now, this is also where it gets confusing, because they then start grading full grain and top grain from 1 to 10. Predominantly, it's 1 to 6 in a tannery. So it gets even worse. It is mind-blowing. You've got to really be on the ball. You've got to be on top of your game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, then they start going through the alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know, Jesus, honestly, it really is absolutely mind-blowing, guys, when you start delving into leather and trying to get to understand it. It is absolutely mind-blowing. You know, I've spent all my life bloody well around leather and trying to get my head around it, and it's still not got my head around it. Even after all these years, I'm still learning today, 39 years, 40 years down the blimmin' line, I'm still learning. And, you know, at the rate I'm going, 57, the average age of people dying, I ain't got many more years left on this planet, in all fairness. So I've got a lot of learning to do, and I've got to somehow get all this in. But, yeah, I'm tired. I'm going to let her finish off.
Yeah, the key points is just remembering, just looking at it really closely and seeing if the grain looks natural. Does it look like your skin looks? If you can see lots and lots and lots of natural grain in there, then you're usually looking at a full grain leather. There's wrinkles on there too.
No, that's false. That's not full grain.
Preston.
No, that's not full grain. I think that's embossed.
But if they start to look
Where's the on-off button?
really even
Do I have an on-off button?
really regular patterns, then it's normally false grain, or it's had some kind of process done. But if you can still see some of that original, the veining or the really deep graining, then it's normally top grain, which is layer number 2.
Yes. You got that right, yeah?
Yeah, because you can still see those bits in it, but it's got the regular pattern on it as well.
Good. See, she does know what she's talking about.
I do.
So, anyway, guys,
I do.
excuse me, I'm still getting over my cold. It's nearly gone. I still feel a little bit groggy. And she's going to...
These are really good.
So, Carolyn is going to model. So, here you go, look. Now, here's another interesting one.
These are really good for showing your customers as well, so they understand which is which.
Hello. So now here's another interesting one. I'm going to take this off so she doesn't block out this face again from the camera. So here is another interesting one. What is that? What is that, guys? Can you see that? Can you see that has grain in there? Look at this.
But it's
How
really
interesting.
soft.
But it's really soft, guys. This is really interesting. Can you see the grain? So there you go. So yes.
Answers on a postcard. What is it?
Yes. Let's see your answers.
If they were looking
on
really
this
carefully
video.
when I held that up.
Yes, if they were looking really carefully, they're going to be zooming back now. You're going to be zooming back now, and I don't know whether you noticed where I pulled it from, because I'm going to find out when I rewind this video.
I don't think so.
If you didn't notice where I pulled it from, I want you to try to guess where that is from. No, stop it, woman. Stop it. Give it here. You're going to break it. She's not going to show you it. There you go. There it is.
To be helpful.
So let's see questions on this video if you think you know what that leather is. And I'm just banging my microphone. It probably just sounded like we had an earthquake here because it's on my chest. There you go. Let's just see whether you can tell us what that leatherweight I just showed you on the screen that was really, really super soft, and it had some sort of graining in it. What type of grain is it? Or more importantly, what leather is it? There you go, because this is where it gets really confusing with the top and the full, what we've just explained.
Or the full and the top would be the right order.
Yes. So there you go. So where do you think that one I've just shown you fits in full and top, and what is it? So there you go, guys. We hope you find these interesting.
Turning into a quiz.
It is, yes. Well, that's what it's all about. I want to know whether people are paying attention to my classes. And if you're not, then it's your fault because you're wasting your money. Very, very simple. Because you need to pay attention. So there you go. Hope you found that useful. It's not easy to show it on a camera, I must admit. It is a lot easier in person, but hopefully it came across with what we were trying to explain to you. And with what we've actually said, we're hoping it's also going to help you look at them a little bit differently as well. So there you go.
Fingers crossed.
There you go.
But we will do another one of the other layers, the lower down layers, and the rubbish that's made to look not so rubbish.
Yes, we will. Yep. There you
Fab.
go. Yep.
We are done.
Yep.
Week 16 is over.
Yep.
I've been Carolyn.
And I've been Richard.
And we'll see you on week 17.
Yes, episode 17. So that is it, guys, from us, over and out from the R&C Leather Lounge. I am Richard.
I'm Missy.
See you later.